Hello, good morning everyone. I am Marian Grace Celeste, and today we will talk about the complex issues that we had raised in the previous activities with the previous meeting, which is the chemical exposures and the equipments in housekeeping department. So to generate solution using the ideation techniques. So today we will talk about the ideation technique that we will be using to generate a solution about the complex issue. So our issue here is about the chemical exposure and the equipment. So the ideation techniques that we will be going to use to generate a solution is the brainstorming and the mind mapping. So the process of this is we will be assigning one person to write the agenda for today's meeting and also to write down all the informations that we had gathered and that for all the information that we had gathered and being discussed. And as well as we were going to assign two persons to explain the solutions that we had gathered also using the mind mapping techniques. So we will discuss all the information for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and everyone will take down notes as a sign of participation and have records, especially for the important information that we had gathered. So the issue that we had in cleaning department, which we already discussed in the previous meeting, it is the chemical exposure and the equipments. So the ideas that we bring together from brainstorming techniques is, first is always use the protective gears that being provided by the company. The second one is the proper handling of the hazardous chemicals while using the chemicals. And the third one is always wash our hands after using the hazardous chemicals. So we really don't forget washing our hands after using the chemicals. So while in equipment is the proper handling for the equipments that being provided by the company and the training on how to use the equipments before starting to work. So because not all the equipments that we already used in our daily lives. There are some equipments that we really need to have a training on how to use it and listen for the instructions that being provided, because some of the equipments are expensive, like the cleaning, like the carpet cleaning. So the machine that we will be going to use in the carpet cleaning is we really need to practice on how to use it, and also it's kind of expensive, so that's why we will need to have a proper care and proper use of all our equipments. And now we will do the mind mapping technique solutions. So here are the ideas that we gathered using the mind mapping techniques. So this is the mind mapping. So our complex issue here is the chemical exposure and the equipments. So for the chemical exposure, we have here solution. So for the chemical exposure is always follow So always follow the proper handling of the chemicals. And the second one is always wash our hands. Always wash our hands after using the hazardous chemicals or the chemical substance to avoid chemical burn. And then always, and also the third one is always use the protective gears that being provided by the company. And the next one is for the equipments. For the equipments, the solution is first we had proper handling. Proper handling of all the equipments that being provided by the company. So we really need to have a proper handling because some of the equipments are very like the cost buying that equipment is kind of expensive, so we really need to take care of our equipments. So the second one is training. So the company will provide a training on how to use the equipments before starting to work, and also giving some instructions on how to use all the equipments being provided by the company. So that's all for today. I hope everyone gathered, I hope the information that we have gathered today, you already take a note for it, and just keep all the informations and just keep your notes, because we were going to have a meeting again in the future. So have a nice day, everyone.